So she's irritated. She gets out of the car and gets them, and he says they're playing hide and seek and they wanted Teri to come find them.
Oh, shit.
She's hesitant because she hasn't been in that house in 3 years, but for the sake of getting her kids, she walks in. Then it all goes black. I just exhaust myself.
Oh, why?
Because I am constantly, once I find a story that I'm going to do or a case I'm going to cover, I constantly think of how to restructure it in my head.
Oh, yeah.
And I will change it every which way to be like, should I drop the bomb like that?
Yeah,
it just drives myself crazy.
I know. It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. But I decided on a way, and I'm glad we're recording now before I have a chance to switch it up again.
Right.
I don't have anything at the top.
I don't either. Patrons getting back on it, sending stuff out. I know. Y'all, these holidays, kicking my ass.
Should have better prepared.
Sending a batch out today. We are very low on stickers, so I think we're going to be running out with this batch, but there's more on the way. And then with the new cover, new logo, new vibe, So just a heads up. My plea to be patient and know that I'm not like forgetting. You're not just like not getting what you want.
Right.
It's coming. And I love you.
That's sweet. All right. So now that business has been tended to, I'm going to jump right in.
Go for it.
Today, I am telling you about Teri Jendusa Nicolai.
Wow.
Oh, sources. Forgot. Well, I found it on YouTube on a channel called Unseen, womensday.com, court documents, courthousenews.com, and the Racine County local newspaper called the Journal Times.
Okay. Court what? News.com? Is that something I need to search for court documents on?
Oh, well, no. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know. Courthousenews.com.
Courthousenews.com. All right. Cool.
On January 31st, 2004, cops in Wheeling, Illinois got a lead about a missing person. Teri Jendusa Nicolai had been missing for nearly 27 hours at this point, and it was 17 degrees and snowing outside.
Oh, shit.
The detective said he remembers getting a call to go look at a storage unit and walking to a squad car. It hurt to breathe. It was so cold.
Oh, God.
Inside the storage unit, they see a garbage can with the top duct taped on and about 100 pounds of boxes on top of it. Knowing this is the only likely place a body could be, they pry it open, and sure enough, there is the lifeless body of Teri, covered in blood and snow, and she had no pants on.
Wait, what took them to the storage unit?
A lead, which is
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The storage unit belonged to her ex-husband, David Larsen. So let me get into their history, their relationship, and we'll build up to this lead. You know what I mean?
Totally. I think I know this one.
Teri Jendusa and David Larsen got married in 1996 and lived in Racine. I don't know. Racine, Riken.
Wisconsin? Oh, that's where the Kringles are. The people who make the Kringles. Like Christmas. The Kringle. Are you kidding? Kringle with a K. Picture it.
Yeah.
Circle? Oh, you do know. Oh my God.
I'll let you keep going.
So, okay.
Reprimanding me.
I was going to make you stop and Google it. Like, come on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. Because, well, speaking of, sorry, real quick. Over Christmas, I ordered 2 to be delivered on Christmas Eve. They never showed up, even though they said delivered. And I was like, what the hell? So I looked at my Ring camera and a raccoon got them. That son of a bitch. He drags it off of the porch. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Porch pirates are the worst this time of year.
Mean. I've never seen anything like it.
All right.
Anyway.
So they got married in 1996, and it was on their honeymoon when David actually gets physical for the first time.
Honeymoon?
Yeah, he slapped her across the face.
Shit. He what?
He slapped her across the face. She wanted to leave him right then and there, but that's a really hard spot to be in. You're on your honeymoon, you love him, and she could not have foreseen what was going to happen, so she stayed.
Oh, what a piece of shit. He played it good and cool, their whole like just dating.
Yeah.
And then locked her in with the marriage. And
According to one source, he did play it cool while dating. But there were a few flare ups. Like one specific example was they were getting stopped for traffic. Like some construction guy was like, regulating the traffic. Stop here. You can go. You can go. And he didn't want to go, so he like plowed over the construction equipment and kept going.
He didn't want to stop.
He didn't want to stop, so he just kept going.
Jesus.
Yeah. No one got hurt, but he just like, he's a hothead. And dating, he had never laid a hand on her. So obviously.
Oh, good. Well, that is insane.
But soon she realizes this was not a one-time thing. He is, like I said, a hot-headed asshole with a serious mood imbalance. He would yell at her if the window curtains were out of place or if the towels weren't folded a certain way.
Then you fold them, Dick.
That's what I said. He insisted she keep the door open when she was showering or using the bathroom. Like,
what?
No idea why. It's like the control is unreal. She once threw away a freezer burnt sausage and he got pissed because it was wasting his hard-earned money. Relax. So it got to the point where she would like hide trash from him. Like once she broke a coffee mug and threw it away in the neighbor's trash can so he wouldn't see it.
Oh,
I know. And sadly, she thinks it's her that's the problem. Like if she just changes her own behavior, he won't get pissed off and they'll just stay happy.
no.
In reality, there is nothing you can do for assholes like this. He'll get mad if the wind shifts directions. He's just looking for a fight.
Totally.
She eventually gets pregnant, and it's the only time he's not abusive.
Oh, okay.
So they end up having 2 daughters, Amanda and Holly, and the straw that broke the camel's back and led Teri to leave David was this.
I'm scared.
She was making spaghetti one night.
Do we need a trigger warning? Is it going to be like a crime against kids?
You sure don't.
Oh, well, okay.
She was making spaghetti one night, and the dried, uncooked pasta was on the counter while she waited for the water to boil.
Wait. Okay. And this
The
infuriates
pasta
someone.
was on the counter, and it enrages him. And he demanded that she put the dried pasta away before it, quote, goes bad.
Oh, what a dipshit.
Do you know the shelf life
Oh, my God.
of dry pasta? You're a real moron. So she snaps back at this and tells him, that doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. And do you want to eat or not? And he responded that it didn't matter if he made sense or not. She was to do as he said. And before you ask,
you're getting me riled up.
I know. Before you ask, the year is 2000, not 1702.
Not 1950,
Do as I
whatever.
say.
I don't know.
Right.
Wow.
Do as I say. Screw off. What a miserable man. Like, I know we say this a lot, but how exhausting it must be to live like this, to wake up looking for a fight every single day.
Yeah.
So he pushes Teri while she's holding their 8-week-old Amanda. And their 2-year-old gets upset, hides under the kitchen table crying for him to stop screaming. And David gets in her face and says, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh,
and
God.
That's when it clicked for Teri. And she said to herself, fuck this. I'm done, and files her divorce, which is finalized in January 2001. Teri fights for sole custody because he is a monster, but for some screwed up reason, the court grants joint custody. She argued that he is violent towards her, so why should he be alone with our kids? That's what she was quoted to say. But the court was impressed by the fact that a father wanted to spend time with his children.
Oh, what?
For fuck's sake.
Wait, the court was impressed. First of all, that shouldn't impress you.
Anyone.
A good father does want to do that. Duh.
Right. Right. It was, I mean, it's hard. It's at this point here, like he said, she said type thing. She never filmed it. She never took pictures of the abuse, So it is his word against hers. But ultimately, they're given joint custody. And we all know he just wants to control and piss off Teri. Let's be honest. Come on.
I'm impressed with the court for not saying that it's actually a controlling asshole who wants to, quote, spend time with his kids. No, he just wants to take something away from her.
Right. So it's granted nonetheless. And David continues to verbally and physically assault Teri whenever she drops off or picks up their daughters. So she starts requiring that they meet in public to do the exchange. So they would like meet at McDonald's.
Yeah,
a hardware
that's very
store.
common. Very common.
But imagine the nightmare of dropping off your daughters to this dick would tear her heart out every time.
I
And note,
know.
he does not and has not ever abused the daughters.
Oh,
They
okay.
actually knew nothing about this story until they were older. Okay.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What a prince.
I want to
Um,
do kid things to y'all twice in a row.
what do
I
you mean
will
twice in a
do
row? What'd you
because
do last time?
Coleman Family Murders
Oh,
was last
right,
week.
right. Oh, God.
I will give you a batshit story twice in a row though. So
Well,
stick with me.
stick with it. Okay. That always okay. I'm glad.
No,
Woo.
I know.
But Jesus, okay. It just baffles me.
Yeah, because he's so angry. I'm like, how?
I mean,
I'm
again,
glad.
very glad you're not angry at your daughters, but
Right, right. But I'm like,
mm,
everything seems to set you off. Hard to believe. But so Terry struggles with this bitter divorce situation, but her hope is restored when she meets her future second husband, Nicolai. Her friend said that he showed her what love was supposed to be. He embraced Holly and Amanda as if they were his own. And in 2003, they get married.
oh,
But David was not ready to let Terry go.
oh God.
He held on to mementos from their wedding, including her dress, photo albums, and video footage, which he showed to his daughters as proof that mommy doesn't keep her promises.
Oh,
Monster.
there's the form of abuse.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, mommy doesn't keep her promises.
Look, she broke our vows. It's like, yeah, because I saw you hit her, you dick. God.
Ew.
On January 31st, 2004, which happened to be exactly 3 years since Terry and David's divorce, it was her turn to pick up Amanda and Holly, who were 6 and 4 at this point. David insists that she just come pick them up from his house, and she says fine, but asked David to have them ready because they had a day plan, and she was already running late, so she just wanted to, honk the horn and send them on out type of pickup.
Yeah.
But when she got there, David walked out and yelled that they weren't ready. So she's irritated. She gets out of the car and gets them, and he says they're playing hide and seek and they wanted Terry to come find them.
Oh shit.
She's hesitant because she hasn't been in that house in 3 years, but for the sake of getting her kids, she walks in. Then it all goes black. He hit her in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
Mm-mm.
When she comes to, he's on top of her and a struggle ensues, and somehow her sweatpants come off at some point. I'm guessing with her being on the ground and trying to crawl out of his grasp while he's like pulling her back.
Yeah.
And I say that because he is adamant he was not going to rape her, and it's later determined she was not sexually assaulted.
Okay.
So he beats her in the head until she stops moving. Then he duct tapes her hands and feet and drags her into the garage where there's an empty trash can, and he puts her inside of it to suffocate her.
Ugh.
It's short of breath just thinking about it.
I know.
Keep in mind, he does have a gun too, which shows you how angry this man is. He doesn't want this to be quick.
Yeah.
He wants her to suffer.
Yeah.
He fills the trash can with snow and puts it in the back of his pickup truck. I'm guessing it's speculated he did this to cover the smell. I don't know of her eventual decomposing body. I can only imagine that's why. Meanwhile, the girls are playing upstairs in their bedroom with the door locked, not having heard a word of the attack.
Oh God.
David then calls them downstairs because they were leaving. So they get in the truck, obviously having no idea that their mom was just beaten to death and is in the back of it.
Oh my God. Oh.
I know. After 3 hours of being gone, Terry's new husband, Nick, by the way, they've only been married at 3.5 months at this point.
Oh God.
Terry's new husband, Nick, calls the police and explained David and Terry's history and how violent he is, and said she went to go pick up her daughters and never came back. And on top of not knowing where Terry is, he tells them he doesn't know where his stepdaughters are either, and gives David's address.
Okay. Go, Nick. Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Also, this was brought up on what?
I'm just, if you tell me that they're like, call back in 24 hours, I'm going to throw my computer against the wall.
No, but another source, I saw questions, and I've heard questions of people being like, what if he's so abusive, why would Nick not go with her?
Oh yeah.
Apparently that made it 100 times worse.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never bring my girlfriend to pick up our kids. You're bringing your husband to pick up my daughters and take them from me,
Yeah.
And she's like, we'll just stick to the public place thing. So that's what happened.
All right.
So Nick calls 911, gives David's address. And here's the thing, Rach. This was actually the second 911 call that came in with that address. Because when David put Teri inside that trash bin, he did not make sure she was dead.
Oh,
And more importantly, he did not take her cell phone.
Holy shit. She called 911 in the trash can?
Yes. Earlier that morning,
holy shit.
911 got a call from a very weak, breathless woman trying to explain that her ex-husband was trying to kill her, but all she could get out was David's address before losing consciousness and ending the call.
Oh my God.
Doesn't even give his name. Just says the address and that's it.
And with the snow packed on top of her?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So the cops actually went to David's house, rang the doorbell, but no one answered, so they left. Then Nick's 911 call comes in with the same address, and because they now have confirmation that kids are involved, police start hauling ass back to David's. Then a third 911 call comes in.
Jeez.
It's Teri again.
No.
But she is fading quickly, and this time she spits out more critical information, like her full name, David's full name, and that she's in a green pickup truck, bound and beaten, and she's having a very hard time talking. And this dispatcher is despicable.
Oh God, what?
She's not cut out for such a role.
Oh God.
She says, if your hands are bound, how are you holding a phone?
What?
And because of the blows to her head, Teri cannot respond. She starts breathing really heavily, very clearly trying to stay awake. And the dispatcher goes, do you want to talk to me or are you just going to breathe heavily?
What?
It's shocking. But Teri is not going to use her last little energy to respond to that shit. So she doesn't say anything. Honestly, I don't think she could.
Oh, yeah.
And the dispatcher ends the call.
I am in shock right now.
I mean, if she didn't get fired on the spot.
I'm like speechless though.
I know.
Okay. We really don't know if she did get fired. She had to have. Come on.
I looked for a name. I saw other sources looked for a name just to see.
Wow. I mean, we just got to know.
It's not released. I don't know. It's just despicable. I don't know
how
else to say it.
Ashamed of yourself you must be, I hope, when you learn what happened.
Right. It's just so sad. But then Teri hears police sirens, and I'm sure it's an unimaginable feeling of relief until they pass right by David's truck.
Jeez.
We later find out that those were the cops responding to Nick's 911 call. Again, they were hauling ass to David's, having no idea they had just passed his truck with his victim in the back of it. It did give Teri a spike of adrenaline, though. And with this, she manages to push the top of the garbage bin open to the point where she can stick one hand out. So she starts waving it in hopes that someone else is on the road and will see her, but no one does, except David.
What? Wait, she's in the back, like the bed of a pickup truck.
The bed of a pickup truck.
And it's is the trash can upright? I need to lay out. Like, how does he not see her doing that?
David does. He does.
Oh my God, I'm thinking David's the new husband. I was like, oh my God, he was on the case.
No.
Oh shit.
No, it's upright.
Oh, okay.
It's upright. And David looks in his rearview mirror and sees her doing this.
Oh, fuck.
So he pulls over and I assume tells his daughters he has to fix something real quick or something. I don't know. But he pulls over to reinforce the top and make sure she cannot open it again. And as he's doing this, her cell phone rings.
No.
Can you fucking believe that?
How is the phone still on? It's in snow too?
It's just picture being in a trash can and someone putting snow in it. It's probably not all the way. It's not up to her eyeballs.
Oh, okay.
Shit, it's like mainly at her feet, really, because you'll see. But
okay. Jeez.
It's up to as much as he can fill it. But the phone was in her jacket pocket and she somehow unbound her hands, reached in her jacket pocket, grabbed it.
Damn.
But someone calls her phone. So he rips open the top of that garbage can and he takes it. Her last lifeline. Police are at David's house and no one's answering, of course. So they call the district attorney, who grants them permission to force entry given children are involved and the victim herself may still be alive. So they kick in his front door, and the first thing they notice are pictures of Teri and their wedding pictures everywhere.
Oh, God.
Again, like an ode to her, he's obsessed. Another thing they notice is what a hoarder he is. Stuff
Ew.
is everywhere. So bad that the cops don't notice the crime scene immediately. Like,
Oh,
he beat her with a baseball bat, and there's a huge blood stain on the carpet, but they don't notice at first.
God.
It's very apparent he has a hard time letting things go.
Gross.
Once they find the blood stain, they see Teri's pants right next to it, the sweatpants with blood all over them. Nick told dispatch what she was wearing, so they know they were Teri's.
Yeah.
They also find a handgun case, but the gun's missing. So they immediately put out an Amber Alert for Holly and Amanda with a description of David's car.
Oh, good.
They're able to ping his phone, and he's somewhere in Milwaukee, which is about 30 minutes away. Based on a quick search, they know he owns 3 properties in Milwaukee, and they send local police to each address. And at one of them, they find Teri's car, but no sign of her. They even break into the trunk. There's nothing of foul play that looks like from her car.
Why is her car there?
He towed it away. We'll get there.
Oh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
God, I hate this piece of shit.
Yeah. It's officially a manhunt for this guy, and he's completely unaware of it. Nearly 100 cops set out to find David, Teri, Amanda, and Holly. That night, he heads into work for his shift. He's a air traffic controller. I'm not sure.
Oh,
if
he
I mentioned
is?
that. Mm-hmm.
That's too much responsibility for this dick.
Right.
He thought spaghetti went bad.
I know.
Let's not have him flying planes in to telling people what to do up in the air.
Right. We don't want this air traffic controller, especially not in 2001. Get him out of here.
Oh, God.
So that night, he heads into work for his shift, only to be met with cops who are like, hey, a word, please.
May we see you in the next room?
Yeah. He acts shocked that Teri's missing.
Oh, my God. I bet this is a performance. I would love to see the footage of this.
But the weakest one, because he is still covered in blood.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Oh, God, it gets so good what he says. He's shocked that Teri's missing, and he'll do anything to help. So they take him to the station and let him talk for a second to let him lie. They're just like, just one lie.
Keep going.
Give it, and we're just going to rail on you. Because, again, time is of the essence. He says he was at home all morning. Teri never showed up, which was very like her, he says.
Oh,
so he left his house around 11:30 to run a few errands, took the girls to lunch. Then he dropped them off at his girlfriend's house so he could come into work. And they say, okay, you weren't at your house at 11:30 because we kicked down your door at 11:03 and no one was there.
There you go.
But you know what was there? Teri's bloody sweatpants. Oh, also, a neighbor said she saw Teri's car there and saw you towing it away on your own trailer.
Oh, my God. What a piece of shit.
And now he's getting visibly nervous and fidgety and starts rubbing his legs. And that's when the detective noticed blood is all over them. And he says, in fact, you have Teri's blood on your pants right now as we speak. You went into work with blood on your clothes, you fucking dipshit.
Oh, God, what a dummy.
Dummy. So he changes his story, and it's a good one.
Oh, thank God. He's like, no, I went hunting this morning.
I
always walk into work with blood all over me, and my coworkers are none the wiser because I'm a monster.
Right. That would have been better than this one. He says he was in the kitchen that morning putting the girls' snacks together in their backpack, being dad of the year. And he turned around. He felt something looming. He turned around, and Teri was standing there with a hammer over her head and her pants around her ankles.
Okay. What?
Why would she drop trowel if she's trying to attack you?
Right.
She can't run over to you to kill you with pants around her ankles. Like, you needed to explain why they found her pants at your house, and that's what you came up with? God, you're a moron. So he says he grabbed a bat that happened to be right there next to him in the kitchen and began beating her to defend himself because his life was threatened. I don't care what weapon a person has if their pants around their ankles. They're not a threat.
You're good.
They just got pantsed. They're not a threat.
Yeah. No, come on.
They call bullshit. And after that, he will not say anything else. He is there for hours, not saying a word.
Oh my God.
Now, during this, they do send cops to his girlfriend's address and find Amanda and Holly. They're safe. They're okay.
Oh, good.
They are none the wiser about what's happened to their mom. No idea.
Oh God.
In fact, they're like, have you seen your mom today? They're like, no.
Wow.
Meanwhile, back at the station, they have enough to detain David, obviously. So they
I'll say.
Yeah. So they confiscate his wallet, and just like his house, it's filled with shit, hundreds of business cards that they're going through looking for leads, which is infuriating because, my God, every minute, again, is crucial. And here they are cold calling every single business card to see if anyone could give them any more information. And they have zero luck until they come across a card for a storage unit in Wheeling, Illinois.
Oh, thank God.
And the guy working there confirmed David did have a unit there, and he was there the day before.
Oh, shit.
So they go down there. They open his unit with a pry bar. They see this trash bin in the corner and discover Teri. She's in the fetal position. Her skull is crushed.
Oh, God.
I know. And she has such bad frostbite on her feet that it looks like she's wearing black socks. But even more unbelievable,
Stop.
she's alive.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought this was something else. I think I have heard this, but I thought it was something. I was thinking it was something else because that's all different. Oh, my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm
nearly
glad.
27 hours inside the snow-filled garbage bin, 1 hour until death, according to doctors.
7 hours.
Mm-hmm. Authorities feared they would cause more damage if they tried to move her, so they left her there to wait for paramedics.
Oh, God.
Brutal.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that's who gave her, you probably had less than 1 hour to live. When David initially dragged her off the truck to put her in the storage unit, she said she heard Amanda and Holly playing, laughing, and running around the parking lot, and it was pure joy to hear that they were okay, and it gave her everything she needed in order to survive.
Oh, I'm going to cry.
I know.
Don't do it.
I got teary. Oh. At that time, she made the difficult decision to stay silent to spare them from any trauma, which is probably for the best. Not only would it have put them in harm's way, they were too young to have to do anything at all.
No
and
way.
at this point, I think it's best that David think you're dead.
Oh, sure.
He needs to think you're dead.
No, she did the right thing. He had his gun with him too. That just would have been it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Good for her. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Right. She said the actual rescue was a blur. She doesn't remember much about it, but when paramedics...
Oh, was she conscious?
Yeah.
What?
The whole time.
No.
The whole time. Mm-hmm. She even remembers when her and David were struggling at the house, she purposefully didn't yell again to spare her daughters from hearing her screaming.
Oh, God.
So she suffered in silence in hopes that they won't hear mommy die.
I know. I just know. I'm shocked she's conscious when they find her.
Oh, yeah.
I knew she was when she heard her kids, obviously, in the parking lot playing. But God, even out 27 hours later, I don't know, that they found her and was like, oh my God, she has a pulse. No, she was awake.
Yeah. When she heard the storage unit door shut, she waited for a second and called David's name to see if he was still there and got silent. So she just started screaming, help, help, help. It got way too dizzy. So she stopped. And it was when the police came in and Teri, you here? Are they here? They started hearing mumbling from the trash can once they started prying it open. She was awake. Her eyes were swollen shut. She couldn't move, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. But they could tell she was breathing.
Damn.
Ooh. But when paramedics got there, her body temperature was at 84 degrees and dropping. So they rush her to the hospital. They get her stable. She stayed in the hospital for 7 weeks. They had to amputate all of her toes.
Yeah, I bet.
Because of the frostbite. But initially they told her they were going to have to amputate both legs and both arms underneath the elbow. So,
oh, man.
Having only losing your toes, she was actually very relieved to hear this.
Yeah.
But that relief quickly turned to devastation when doctors gave her the unfortunate news that her unborn baby didn't make it. She was 5 weeks pregnant.
Sad. Did she know?
she and Nick found out the night before.
No.
The night before the attack, and they were planning to tell Holly and Amanda that they were going to be big sisters that day, and that's why Teri was like, I need them to be ready and pick them up. We have a fun day planned.
Oh,
how
baby.
dark is that?
Very dark.
But they didn't because they didn't tell Amanda and Holly, they didn't get a chance to. They didn't know that. Like that, at least one less thing to answer, like to explain to their daughters.
I know, but they eventually find that out and they're like, Jesus,
Right.
how awful.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Terrible.
That
They had a
fucker.
fun day planned to tell them, but that monster took it away from her. And now she has to face him in court. The defense.
I don't want to hear it. Next.
I know. The defense questioned Teri's pregnancy history and speculated that it was her health history that may have caused her miscarriage.
Oh, what?
She just happened to miscarry after the relentless beating and abduction. Fuck off.
And okay, whatever.
I know. I couldn't even.
You can't.
Shut up. that would be my argument. Shut the fuck up,
please. Jerry, did
y'all hear that?
Come on,
bullshit.
Come on, this guy's grasping at straws.
Y'all see that, right? In 2005, David Larsen was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the attempted first-degree murder. But do not worry. I know, it infuriated me too. But don't worry, because luckily, because he crossed state lines into Illinois during the abduction, it went to federal court in 2008, where he was charged with kidnapping and interstate domestic violence and was given a life sentence.
Oh, thank God. Wow. That really tacked on some time, that little crossover.
Yep, sure did.
Hell yeah. Illinois, Wisconsin border.
Right.
Props to you.
Props to you.
Thank you.
Yet behind bars, he still cannot let go of control. And he tried to demand visitation rights from his daughters, which failed.
I mean, no.
Thumbs down. And in 2010, officials found what they call a complex plan for his escape. But they stopped it. And I'm like, please give us the plan. Release the plan. Release the plan.
Oh my God, please. I bet it is hilarious.
I know.
Given the pasta with a shelf life, given the she was behind me with her pants down.
Right.
Given I mean,
so they put a stop to it and they didn't release details. But I'm like, please do. I won't even put it on the podcast. Just let me know.
I just need to know. It's going to be like,
I'll sign an NDA.
Yeah. I wake up and I walk right out of the prison. Some dumb shit.
With a clown mask on.
I mean.
He's also apparently told other inmates who are being released to look Teri up and kill her. And they're like, no, deuce, see ya.
Good God.
That's just ridiculous. Since the attack, Teri's been a key factor in helping draft laws that protect domestic violence victims, such as Wisconsin's SAFE Act that removes guns from the hands of abusers, which again, you hear these laws and you're like, makes sense.
Sure.
If you pop off at uncooked pasta being on the counter, you may not have a firearm. No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You have anger problems and you can't control them. So no, you don't get a gun.
Right.
Previously, cops had to have a warrant to take an abuser's gun away, but now they don't.
Go Teri.
She also helped in getting Marcy's Law passed in Wisconsin in 2020, which grants victims and their families rights such as notification of an abuser's release, things like that. This stemmed from a case in the 80s where Marcy Nicholas, who was a senior at UC Santa Barbara, was stalked and murdered by her ex-boyfriend. And only 1 week later, her mother was in a gas station and was confronted by Marcy's murderer, having no idea he was released on bond.
What?
I know. So it started in California, and now it's going through a bunch of states.
Yeah.
She and Nick, Teri and Nick, went on to have a son of their own.
Oh.
And as of 2020, both Amanda and Holly were married, or are married. I'm guessing they're still married. And everyone came out on top, except David, of course, who's rotting in prison.
Who's still trying to cook up a scheme to get himself out.
Right. And how satisfying knowing such an asshole who needs control has the rights of a zoo animal.
Oh my God.
He's told when to go to bed, when to get up. It must drive him crazy, which is a huge win.
Wow.
He also owes Teri more than $3 million, which she knows she'll never see a dime of it, but she really likes the message it sends that you can't do this to someone and not have to pay. So she's fine with it.
Okay. Good.
And that is my badass survival story of Teri Nicolai.
Very upsetting, but go Teri.
It's dark. It's upsetting. I'm sorry, but God, I love a
Wow.
survivor story.
I know. It's so insane.
Patrons. I don't know if you meant to sign up like this, but I'm going to read out as you signed up. Daughter of the King.
Like
a
Elvis?
princess?
Oh, you went Elvis.
I went Elvis.
I'm going royalty.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome, Daughter of the King. Lauren, Becca, Bailey, Jessica, Melissa, Cherish, Elizabeth, Tara, Kristen, Chelsea, Shay, and Katie.
Shut up.
Welcome.
Thank y'all
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. I have 3 custom shout outs. First one's from Kim. Just wanted to shout out my friend Simber that introduced me to the podcast. Her and her boyfriend Blair own a bar in our tiny little town in Amboy, Illinois. I just did a story in Illinois. This keeps happening to me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
crazy.
technically that was in Wisconsin, wasn't it?
Well, technically, but state lines.
Yeah. Oh,
Uncle
wow.
B's Bar and Grill.
Yum. I don't know why I said yum, but I bet it's great.
I bet it is great. Fantastic food, great atmosphere, great people. Everyone needs to check it out. Keep up the amazing work. Y'all are the best. You're the best, Kim.
Oh my God, thanks. And thanks, Simber, for telling her about us.
Yeah, best of luck to you and Blair and the bar. I know owning a bar cannot be easy.
Uncle B's?
Uncle B's. And Amboy, Illinois.
That's great.
Uncle B's Bar and Grill. Melissa, the second one's from Melissa. I want to send a custom shout out to my 87-year-old dad, Jerry. Is he going to be listening?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. He does listen. This is the one I put in the document. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got this one.
My mom passed away in January 2024. Oh, I'm sorry. It's almost the anniversary. And my dad moved in with me and my son. Since then, I've introduced him to the world of true crime podcasts. And our favorite one is, of course, PAT Dubs.
Love that.
Yes. Just today, we started listening to the Christmas episode in the car, and he turned on the podcast at home to hear the ending. The volume was so loud that I had to ask him to turn it down so he didn't spoil the ending for me.
Oh, my God.
I love that.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Oh, I bet he thinks our mouths are tacky with all the cursing.
He's like, the only feedback I have is that y'all have mouths like sailors.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks.
And the last one's from Becca. You are fucking amazing. Jerry, that was Becca's. Jerry, that was Becca's shout out. That was not mine.
He's like, goddamn sailors, these two. Back in
Yeah.
my day, women were classy. I
Oh,
love you, Jerry.
I know.
Okay. Go Becca. Sorry.
you guys are fucking amazing. I've been listening to you guys for nearly a year now, and I've listened to each episode at least 3 times. Now,
Stop.
what year is it again?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Love all the way from Scotland. Hell yeah.
I want to go to Scotland.
That's on my list.
It is on my list too. Love it.
Thank you, Becca.
Thanks, girl.
Oh, I love it starting my day like this. You are the best.
People are the worst.
Are the worst.
Bye.
Bye.